Alright, hey everyone, I'm going to show you the 4 dumbest things I do with my smart home. Now I have a lot of smart home devices and I use a Home Assistant hub to actually control that. So this is a little bit of a complex system that I've glued together. I have about 150 smart devices. Most of those are things like light switches or light bulbs or smart plugs, my thermostats. I do have door sensor, motion sensors, smoke alarm, water leak sensors, that kind of stuff. You know, just really a mix of Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, Zigbee type devices. But really what I want to show is a lot of them I love, and I do a lot of really cool stuff with them. But there are a couple things that I look back and say, you know what, that's really a dumb thing that I do. But I'll kind of explain why I do them. So what I want to do is go upstairs and show you each of these setups that I have that I think are quite dumb. And before I get too far, I want to say do hit that like button for this video. Consider subscribing to my channel because this is Nate on the Tater channel. And I appreciate that. It helps the channel grow. Now, I do put links down below as well for some of these products if you're interested to see some more about them. Now, if you have any questions about what I do here, please put them down in the comments below as you're watching this video. I do read those comments and try to respond to them. Maybe I give you some ideas of things to do or things not to do. Or if you have questions of how did you do that, please just put them down below and I will try to answer them. But otherwise, follow along and see the dumb stuff that I do. All right, so one of the reasons I actually got into smart home stuff is because we bought this house and it had a lot of light switches, a lot of 3-way, 4-way switches that were a bit confusing to learn. And so I wanted to tie some of them together. This gang here is actually a 3-way switch for a catwalk. If I press that on up there, you can see those lights kick on up above. I can turn them off here. There, so it's those ones that are on the top of the stairs. I call them the catwalk. And that 3-way switch does not work. So we had an electrician when we moved in. They actually replaced all the old toggle switches with this Decora, paddle style. And he said, hey, something's wrong with this wiring. It doesn't actually connect. The traveler wire doesn't work. So you have power and neutral and ground here, but the traveler wire appears to be broken between this switch and its 3-way counterpart, which is actually up there on the second floor. So what I did is I said, okay, well, I can fix that with a smart switch. So I put a smart dimmer up there, and then I got a smart switch down here that's also dimmer capable, but it's specifically designed to be a 3-way smart switch without the traveler wire. And I put that in, and so what this is really cool about is that it can still dim. So I can press and hold it, and it will still dim the lights. There's a little bit more of a delay than typical because it is using the wireless there. But this switch here can dim and control just like you would expect with a 3-way switch. So that is one, I would say, kind of a dumb reason because ideally you just have the wiring fixed. But that is something I used 2 smart devices to fix one dumb problem. All right, so the next dumb thing that I've done here is this sink has a disposal in it, and right here is the switch for it. So we have a light switch that's just a regular dumb switch to go on and off there. But in this next switch is actually the disposal. And the way that this circuit was hooked up was there's an outlet down here. I'll show you underneath the sink. Right there is a smart plug that I put into that dumb outlet. And the reason that smart plug is there is because that dumb outlet only had the disposal plugged in with that gray cord, but I had to add that black AC adapter for my faucet. So for my faucet, since it's motion sensor, I can wave my hand over top of it like that. I can kick it on and off. That requires power, and if you didn't have a power port down there, then you couldn't do it. So what I wanted to do, the only power outlet that was down there was a hard switch one, which means the disposal turned on every time. So I wanted to hardwire that outlet so it was always powered so I could get power for the faucet. And then I added a plug. So again, now I had a problem where I needed this switch to, it's actually not physically acting as a switch and switching any wiring power. It's just sending a signal down to that smart plug for the disposal to kick on and off. Now it works really well. It's surprisingly quick here. If I'll show you here, it's on and then I can kick off. So it's actually very quick at working. I've been very happy with it, but that is really kind of again, I'm using two smart devices to fix kind of a dumb problem that I have where I wanted to add a powered faucet. So a little bit silly, but it fixes my issue there. All right, so in here in the laundry room, I have this smart washer dryer combo unit. I've actually done a video on it. We've had it for about a year, but it uses Wi-Fi and it has an app, but I can also connect that to my smart home. So I've integrated that with my Home Assistant smart home. And when we have the door closed, if you're not using their app, it's kind of hard to tell when it's all done. And so I made a announcement for this when it's done. So let me show you what Google does when the laundry is done. All right, so here's one of my Google devices, and this is what I have it play when the laundry is done.
Madam Leslie dear, I would like to inform you that the garments in the washer machine are clean. They aren't exactly dry, but it's close enough after a quick shake.
All right, so it's kind of neat that you can actually get your smart home or your smart devices like Google to actually announce things like that. But of course, the dumb part is actually what I make it say, and that's really just me having a little bit of fun with my wife because she has mentioned that that washer dryer combo unit doesn't get the clothes fully dry like a regular gas dryer does. So I put that in there just to be a little bit funny. So that is one of the other things that I've done that, you know, it's kind of dumb, but I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. All right, so the last dumb thing that I've done with my smart home is actually how I integrated these Genie smart garage door openers. They have Wi-Fi built into them, and I just put them in actually a month or two ago, and they don't have a direct integration to Home Assistant, which is my native platform that I use for my smart home stuff. They used to, and they took it away, but they have a native integration with Smartthings, which is a Samsung based service. And that one, I used to have Smartthings actually, and I switched to Home Assistant. So I had that Smartthings hub in my closet, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get this out now. They have their own Genie Aladdin app, and I can, control it with my phone. But I really wanted it all integrated together on my Home Assistant, because I'll show you actually maybe in a second here my tablet that I have all this in one place and it's all integrated on a dashboard. So I wanted that connection. So what I did is I used my Smartthings hub. I got it out of the closet, plugged it back in, set that back up. I connected the Genies to that Smartthings, and then I can integrate Smartthings back into Home Assistant. So I again am using kind of band-aids with multiple smart devices to fix a problem that's out there. So that's what I've done. But now I can say something like, close the double garage door. Now this beeps at you and it flashes a light. This is what Genie does by default to warn people that are here. But then it'll close that device. So that's how I have it all integrated together. All right, and so here's my dashboard that I'm talking about. So this is what I use as my main dashboard for controlling everything. Now, these are different routines I can run. I have, my power, my air quality. I have the status of all my doors, if they're open or closed. So if they're green, which means they're all closed. But if I were to click on them, it shows all my doors that I have in my alarm, and that they're all closed, or if they're open or whatnot. I have thermostats, I have weather, and then I actually have different tabs that go through. Now, it's not normally that slow, but this is an Amazon Fire tablet that's 8 years old, so it's not exactly the quickest thing out there. But this is just a web browser, actually, interface, so it's just using full screen mode in a web browser. And I can go through here and see different things. I can see actually like my wife's charger, if vehicle charger, if it's plugged in. I can do my alarm system here. That's the laundry machine. Lots of things to kind of look at. I have smart blinds I can open and close here. Even my media devices, my TV, I can turn on and off here, and all my Google devices I can turn on and off there. And then lastly, I have a page for the batteries. So these are all my battery powered devices with a status of how much charge they have left in them. Alright everyone, I hope that video was helpful. Thank you for staying tuned and watching here till the end. Please tag along to watch more of my videos as I release them every week.